general was walking along a sandy beach, enjoying the beautiful sunrise and the lovely river, when suddenly a white dove flew out of the air and into a form of an apple. And when he ate it, a scene was envisioned in his mind of two squires battling it out on the sands. And when he ate it, suddenly another general popped into view, lining up stone spikes. And when he ate the apple, the same scene was in his mind. As both of them enjoyed their apples, the scenes were suddenly clear. I, the 6'7" man, need to avenge my friend Squire, Clown Pierce. He died such a horrible death, and I can't let that happen. The assassin and his general ate apples to further build the clarity of the vision. And as they ate and stocked up on food and resources, they were getting ready to battle to the death with the general and his lieutenant in a snowy biome. Meanwhile, the lieutenant was holding apples and giving them to his general. And so the assassin set sail, but in the end, he was conquered by his indecision and decided to stay instead, after a long argument in the chat. He got out of his trusty old boat and landed back onto the shore. And alas, the first night has fallen into the world of real ... life. And as they mine up stone and get ready for more battles against the people who have supported the person who killed their beloved Clown Pierce, he divides iron and turns it into the strongest armor. The knight in shining armor holds his sword and gets ready to loot a castle full of dangerous Draugr warpers and Draugr weavers, but manages to escape alive and hands clubs and further other utensils to be able to murder the horrible assassin who lies on the other side of the mountains. He does not have any vengeance to achieve, but only wants to further establish his victory. And as the sun rises, they enter a shop full of darkness and microphones. And so it happens. Meanwhile, on the mountain across the shore, the assassin is getting ready to set sail again, but was indeed conquered by his indecision. Once more, he does not know if he can act out of vengeance or out of pure righteousness, but all he knows is that he needs to kill the people who have killed his beloved friend. And after replenishing his life with apples, he decides to set sail with only a remote control explosive, a diamond whip, grenades, and a wooden sword. And as he was guided by the setting sun, he finally arrived on the biome of snow. Meanwhile, the knight in shining armor has no idea what's going on yet, and in the beginning, as the sun begins to set, he just stalks up, when suddenly the assassin sneaks closer and closer and closer and enters the shop, and does not absolutely not know what to do anything with it. When suddenly the knight in shining armor sees a name tag out of the darkness, and he decides to run. After alerting an invasion in the chat, he cowardly leaves his steed in a chest and jumps into the water. However cowardly it may seem, it is actually a good strategy. Meanwhile, the assassin creeps closer and closer, pressing caps lock and crouching so that his name tag wouldn't be seen. And so, even though his attempts have been foiled by the alert in the chat, he decides that he doesn't care and sneaks closer and closer with little bunny hops. And then he jumps, ready to strike, and crouches again. Closer and closer and closer. When he sets up the ignore console, boom! It exploded, and the assassin killed himself without damaging any part, except for blowing up half of the house.
I, serial killer, am actually infuriated that the 6'7" man has blown up the house.
Meanwhile, the knight in shining armor is still alive, as well as his trusted general, as they stay in the mountain of biomes of snow. However, now that the score is fully unevened to 2-1, they feel the extreme bravery coursing through their veins as both set sail to the supposed territory. Now alone, the general has no choice but to hop along the sandy shores and prepare for the nearing invasion, as the two ships are sailing closer and closer. And so, the general runs away, looking for wood and places to stock up on, so that he might not be entirely helpless when the invasion arrives. And so, the knight encounters a stag, staring at it with those merciless eyes, and decides to shoot it. And so, they engage in a battle with a horned deer, getting ready to kill it by force, if necessary. And so it died. And in the perspective of the spectating general, it is indeed a very funny scene. And so, the knight in shining armor and his comrade continue their way up to the mansion in search of their victim, not knowing that he is actually behind them and not in front of them. But as they stay onward and travel to the house, they find that no one is there, but decide to stock up on resources anyways, and fall through the hole because they are not agile at all. And once they find knives, potions, auras, and a chest that has not been fully looted yet, they suddenly feel intense excitement. And so, since both sides have no idea where the other side is, they are getting ready for an invasion, or a defensive attack. The knight in shining armor raises a torch, but fearing that it will be shut down, he jumps off the balcony, getting ready to defend the shoreline, just as the general is sailing back without the help of his trusty assassin, and get ready on the shores. The knight in shining armor becomes impatient for the return of the enemy and decides instead to loot the chests of their already barren contents and finds only a pair of banners. And so, the knight in shining armor does not want to spawn any more horned deer, but finds out that the spawn block that he in vain tried to mine up was only spawning innocent horses. And so, they set sail, and after finding their beloved enemies, they start engaging in extreme battle. And the Droger orb that the knight in shining armor has spawned actually backfired and is chasing the shining armor itself in question itself. And after being shot to death by the other knight in shining armor comrade, the distraction is enough for the fearsome general to hide under the shore and ascend his way up the banks to load up his damaged soul with full gold body armor. Not knowing of this severe let-go disadvantage that they now have, that has now been recovered by the general, the knight in shining armor and his comrade decide to finally hunt the general down, and thinking that the general is actually dead, since they have deluded themselves into thinking that in the chat, they decide to fight to the death, until realizing that the general is actually still alive. And after onto the hill, they decide to fight once and for all. No hiding, no running. Just guns, red and golden diamonds and wood. And after shooting it at each other for an eternity and missing 90% of the shots, both sides retreat a quarter of an inch up and down the hill to their respective places. The other knight in shining armor is only hiding behind a hill, but both knights fail to shoot the offending general with their AK-47s, and instead are severely missing and blowing up holes in the ground, absolutely nowhere near the vicinity of the general. And the general spawns a golem, his own knight in shining armor, to defend his hide and body. And as they repeatedly shoot and bomb each other, one of the knights succeed in luring the golem away after several shots, and continue using guns to shoot it down, but failing to penetrate its hide. Sadly, they are not able to conquer, and instead fell down and died. And after dying shortly, the other knight followed suit immediately. Thus, the general was able to avenge Ampierce. They all hope that you will like and subscribe to the video.